Rule 1 of 6. Here is Rule 1 of 6. Many modern narrow-body flights suffer from a simple capacity challenge. On a standard Boeing 737 or Airbus A320, the overhead bin space often runs out before the final 30 passengers even step onto the aircraft. It is a math problem that frequently ends in a gate check nightmare for those in the later boarding groups. Daniel, a 34-year-old teacher, found himself in this exact predicament at San Diego International Airport, or SAN. He stood in the terminal, his heart racing as he watched the Group 4 passengers disappear down the jet bridge. Daniel was in Group 7. His carry-on suitcase was packed tight with a fragile laptop and essential teaching materials for an upcoming conference. The gate agent's voice cut through the hum of the terminal with a chilling announcement. "We are now out of overhead space." Daniel felt a surge of anxiety. If that bag went into the cargo hold, his expensive gear was at the mercy of heavy-handed luggage systems. Stop. Here is the fix Daniel didn't know yet. It is the 70-30 luggage ratio. Travelers who master this ratio shift 30% of their essentials into a personal item that fits under the seat. We are talking about a backpack or tote roughly 18 by 14 by 8 inches. By keeping your medications, power banks, and electronics at your feet, you remove the fear of a forced gate check. Most airlines allow one personal item for free, provided it meets the dimensions. Reality check. This doesn't actually stop the airline from checking your larger bag if the bins are full. It simply ensures you won't be frantically digging through a suitcase on the jet bridge while a line of 100 people waits behind you. Daniel made it onto his flight, but barely. He spent the trip worrying about his bag in the hold. Now, bag size is one thing, but the next secret reveals how your baggage strategy can save you $100 before you even leave the gate. Rule 2 of 6. Rule 2 of 6. Consolidate your belongings before you reach the front of the boarding line. Emily, a 28-year-old architect, found herself in a high-stress situation at Tampa International Airport, known as TPA. She was carrying a rolling suitcase, a large leather tote, and a slim messenger bag containing her project blueprints. The gate agent was strictly enforcing the 2-item limit, and Emily watched as the traveler ahead of her was forced to pay a $65 fee for a last-minute gate check. The agent turned to Emily. Her heart sank. This is where the nested bag strategy comes into play. Emily didn't wait to be told. She quickly opened her large tote and slid the thin messenger bag inside, flattening it against the interior wall. If your personal item is already full, consider using a duty-free shopping bag. Many travelers find that airlines like Delta or United often overlook a single bag of airport purchases as a third item. It is a standard practice in many terminals that keeps your extra essentials within reach without triggering an extra fee. Reality check. This isn't a license to carry a third suitcase. Gate agents are specifically trained to spot the bulge of overstuffed bags or multiple handles sticking out of a single tote. Staying organized is your best defense against unexpected fees at the jet bridge. Emily boarded her flight to Boston with all her blueprints safe and sound. Now that your bags are through the gate, let's talk about the hardware itself. The next secret reveals why that unbreakable shell might actually be a liability in the cabin. Rule 3 of 6. Moving on to Rule 3 of 6, Charlotte, a 55-year-old nurse, was boarding her flight at Rome Fiumicino, or FCO, when the reality of her perfect luggage finally hit her. She had purchased the most popular bag on the market. It was a shiny, wide-body, hard-shell spinner with 4 multi-directional wheels. But as she stepped onto the plane, the narrow aisle felt like a canyon wall. The aisle on many narrow-body planes is barely 30 inches wide. Charlotte tried to wheel her bag straight. It got stuck on a seat corner. She tried to turn it sideways. It jammed against the armrests of row 4. The line behind her grew long, and the collective sighs of tired passengers filled the cabin. Charlotte felt her face turn red as she struggled to lift the 45-pound suitcase over the seats, nearly hitting a passenger in 4C. This is why many frequent flyers suggest avoiding these wide-body, hard shells. They look great in the showroom, but often fail the aisle test. The solution is simple. If you must use a spinner, pick it up by the side handle the moment you cross the threshold of the aircraft. Don't even try to roll it. For your next purchase, look for bags with recessed wheels and a total width under 14 inches. Soft-sided bags are often a better choice because they can squeeze those extra 2 inches to fit into a crowded overhead bin. It might not glide as smoothly on a marble terminal floor, but it won't make you the most unpopular person on the flight. Charlotte finally made it to her seat, but the real trouble was just starting. What happened next involves a hidden hardware feature that most people ignore until their legs start to cramp. Rule 4 of 6. Rule 4 of 6. Have you ever wondered why your backpack fits perfectly on one flight, but feels like a bulky intruder on the next? Jackson, a 42-year-old mechanical engineer at Vienna International Airport, or VIE, certainly didn't think about it. He had his favorite messenger bag. It was the one that always fit under the seat, or so he thought. Jackson boarded the jet, ready for his 4-hour flight. But as he sat down, his feet hit a solid wall. An electronics box for the in-flight entertainment system was bolted right where his left foot should be. Most people think the space under the seat is a standard size. It isn't. If you guess wrong, your feet will be tucked up toward your chin for the entire journey. Jackson's seat had nearly 20% less room than the one next to him. Here is the fix. Don't just assume your bag fits the footwell of every aircraft. While standard dimensions are often 18 by 14 by 8 inches, some planes have much smaller clearances. Check your aircraft type on a site like Seat Guru before packing. Aisle seats often have narrower footwells because of the structural seat legs. Window seats might have a curved floor that cuts into your storage space. If you see a hardware box under there, ask a flight attendant politely if there is any remaining overhead space. Airlines aren't generally required to provide that floor space for your feet. It is technically designated for storage. Knowing where the box is located saves your knees. Jackson ended up placing his bag sideways, sacrificing all his comfort for the flight. That's a long time to stay cramped. But legroom isn't the only thing that can ruin your trip. The next secret involves a safety rule that is strictly enforced for a very good reason. Rule 5 of 6. Rule 5 of 6. 90 seconds. That is the total time the FAA allows for an airline to evacuate an entire plane during an emergency. Now, imagine trying to hit that mark when everyone's personal items are scattered across the floor or sticking out into the aisle. Luke, a 21-year-old college student, was flying out of Kansas City, or MCI, on a cramped Friday evening flight. He was annoyed. Why did the flight attendant keep pestering him to shove his laptop bag completely under the seat in front of him? To Luke, it seemed like a neatness obsession. He just wanted a little extra legroom for his sneakers. He didn't realize that his bag was actually a potential trap for the entire row. During a sudden stop or a cabin emergency, a bag that is only halfway tucked in becomes a literal stumbling block. In the chaos of an evacuation, seconds are measured in lives. If Luke trips, the 10 people seated behind him are stuck too. It isn't about aesthetics. It is about keeping the egress path clear for everyone. Reality check. Flight attendants are trained safety professionals following strict federal protocols, not cabin maids. They are responsible for making sure that, in a worst-case scenario, every passenger has a clear path to the exit. Next time, just tuck the bag in. Luke finally understood the gravity of the rule when a veteran traveler explained how easily aisles clog up during a panic. That is the reality of air safety. But even if you follow every safety rule, there is one final choice you make at home that can still ruin your entire travel experience. Rule 6 of 6. Rule 6 of 6. Ditch the trendy tote bag before your next flight. Sophia, a 39-year-old journalist, was standing in a long security line at Nashville International Airport, or BNA, when she realized her mistake. Her open-top tote bag looked stylish in her travel photos, but in the chaos of a busy terminal, it was a physical liability. As she leaned over to grab a plastic bin at the TSA checkpoint, her expensive noise-canceling headphones tumbled out onto the hard tile floor. Then, while boarding the plane, the bag kept sliding off her shoulder, hitting other passengers in the narrow aisle. It was a complete mess. Stop. This is why experienced travelers avoid open bags. Tote bags offer zero security against gravity or quick-fingered strangers in a crowded terminal. If your bag tips over under the seat during turbulence, your lip balm, passport, or charger could be gone forever in the dark recesses of the cabin floor. Here is the fix. Use a zippered backpack or a structured crossbody bag with at least 3 internal compartments. Sophia switched to a durable, zipped backpack for her next assignment out of Nashville and never looked back. A secure bag keeps your hands free and your essentials protected from accidental spills. Realizing your gear is secure is the ultimate travel flex. You now have the full toolkit to master the terminal and the cabin. Pack smart, stay vigilant, and enjoy the flight. The airlines want you to stay uninformed, so hit subscribe to keep the advantage in your favor.